When you look at a bottle of whiskey, especially a single barrel, you kind of think about the process. You got to really start all the way back to the forest, and where the trees came from and things like that, because all these things will ultimately influence the character of the whiskey. As an American whiskey, Jack Daniel's, bourbon whiskeys and Tennessee whiskeys have this one thing in common, that we don't reuse barrels. We use only new charred oak barrels. In the case of Jack Daniel's, also a toasted barrel. But being all of your color, all of your flavor, it is one of the biggest influences of the flavor that you have in a finished bottle. Once the wood is harvested, quarter sawn, turned into heading material and stave material, allowed to season for a time, ultimately coming into a cooperage where you'll have an individual who will have to make decisions about how they'll construct that barrel. Each barrel has a unique thumbprint, and single barrel is an opportunity for you to explore every barrel as sort of a singular or different whiskey. And the type of barrel that you use is going to be very important. This whiskey was as clear as water the day it went into that barrel, but you come back and year after year, you just see more and more color begins to develop. And that's what single barrel offers, is sort of this maximum expression of barrel character in a whiskey that you know and love already. We have craftspeople who have made a career out of taking wood and turning it into barrels that we can mature whiskey in. Barrels can't raise themselves, and I always say that, barrels aren't necessarily constructed or built, they're raised, and they have to be hand raised by individuals, and definitely an art form in raising a barrel.
I think that's a craftsman piece in the whole thing. Like you're saying, that you can't take the soul out of a person. Yeah. And so if there's that little bit of fire in there, that's where the passion gets fed by your parents, by the brand, by the culture, by who you are, and that you want to do the best you can.
At the end of the day, the people will ultimately decide that. We choose water, we choose grains and stuff like that, but these decisions that individual people make ultimately decide if the product performs or not, whether it be motorcycle, whether it be a whiskey.
Exactly. So when you look at the big picture, it's the first registered distillery, Jack Daniel's, the first American motorcycle company, Indian, and you're gonna put those two together. It's like, here's a story and a romance that any one of us would love to write, and yet it's what's happening right now, right in front of us.